Hi everybody. Today I'm in the garden saving seeds. Outside I'm going to be doing mainly the flowers, and inside I'm going to be doing the vegetables. I'll bring the vegetables in because you have to open up the fruit or vegetable to get the seeds. But outside I'm going to be going around and taking the flowers or whatever, the dead flowers, to get the seeds. And I am by no means a professional seed saver. I just do what works for me or what has worked for me over the years. And it's so easy, and I can just do it year after year after year. These zinnias, I bought seeds years ago, and there's all different kinds everywhere, and I've never bought seeds since. The cosmos, the marigolds. I'm trying to think of another big one that I grow. There's some in a garden way back behind the house. The sunflowers. I don't buy any of those seeds anymore because it's just so easy to save them. So what I do is I have right now, I'm just putting them in brown paper bags. And the other thing is, I don't even know the names of them anymore because it's been so long since the seed packages have long gone. So I just write what I think is a description of the flower, and then I take a picture of it, and on my camera, I'll just watermark. I'll go the same thing that I'm writing on the package, I'll write on the photo. And then if they're not dry enough, or if they are dry, I just put everything in white little envelopes and put them away in a box for the winter. So I kind of show you more of that inside, but for now, I'm just putting them in a paper bag. Sometimes I even take the whole flower inside if I don't think it's quite ready yet. And that's about it. You're going to see how I do it and how easy it is. But like I said, I'm no professional. I just do what works for me. So I'll bring you in close and show you what the zinnia seeds look like. All right, so there's two different options I usually give myself for the zinnia seeds. This guy obviously is long dead, but if you open him up at the bottom on these heads, those are all the zinnia seeds. All in here. If you take off like just the dead part, all those tips are zinnia seeds. You could literally just sprinkle them, but if I just take all that excess off, these are all dried zinnia seeds. There, that's a better example maybe. So those are all zinnia seeds. The whole head is just seeds. Like, that's all seeds. And it gets even better as you go in. Look at all those seeds, like hundreds per flower. So I'm going to put some of them in the bag that I marked for this plant. And then just in case they're too dry, I'm going to take one that's still not quite dead, and I'm going to go back in here and take out, see, these are the petals, the flowers, when they're not quite dry, all these little ones, and I'm going to stick them in my bag, and then when I go in the house, I will dry them separately, just to cover my bases in case, where's the one I was using? Just in case this guy, the seeds got like too dry. I don't know how to explain it any other way, but I'm taking fresher dead leaves, I guess, or fresher dead seeds. So I'll bring these in and dry them in the house as opposed to these ones being more dead. But can you imagine, just from this one plant, I could get hundreds of zinnias and it doesn't cost me a thing. So in my bag they go. Oh, like I said, this is just the way I do it. So I pulled out a clump and I can just separate the tops. And right there, there's like 10 plants. And also just run your thumb along like this and get them all out. You get a bit of the petals in too. But all those white things are seeds that have to be dried. But look at that, in 2 seconds. I wanted to show you guys this beautiful Cosmo. In the past, all I've ever grown, because at one time that's what I purchased a long time ago, were white Cosmos, light pink Cosmos, and purple Cosmos. I've never bought this color Cosmo, and I've been saving my seed for years. Now, I don't know if this one is commercially available, but I guess with my seed saving and planting different seeds together, and look, because on the plant, this is another one on the same plant. Look at the variations. I think it's just beautiful. And like, there are some that are more of a solid purple, but oh my gosh, they're just so pretty. So I'm going to take a bunch of seeds from this plant, which is about, over 4 feet tall. But I probably won't get the same colors next year, because if it is a happy accident, it's not going to happen next year too. But I'm going to try, because they're just so pretty. Let me see this one. Like, there's another one. Like, oh my gosh. All right, saving Cosmos is just so easy. I'll try and pick one that's really dead. Whoa, that's close, eh? Just open that guy up, and voila, there's all your seeds. Like a whole bunch in one head. He's not quite dry, but those are all Cosmo seeds. I mean, there's what, probably 30, 50 in each head. Here's a drier one. Some, you don't even have to take the wrapper off on some. Hold on, I'm going to back up and show you better. So this is the plant that's like multicolored, and the heads are in different stages of dying or dryness. So this one, the seeds are already, well, they just fell off like that into my hand. This one is in this stage of dying. There's still plenty of seeds, but they're not quite as dry as the one before, but still both easily savable. So I'm going to grab a bit of both and put them in my bag. Uh-oh, look what I just found. Oh my goodness. One thing about the dark fabric, you don't see some of the vegetables. Oh well, we're having stir fry tomorrow night. You can get it, dear. Oh, it's even yellowed on the bottom. Maybe it's chicken food. seeds mid-September, or towards the end of September. Oh well. Uh-oh, number 2. Okay, in my defense, I haven't been out here much, and the dark fabric doesn't help. Look at the size of this guy. I don't aim to grow them that big. Obviously, the chickens or somebody was scratching on it. Yikes. I have one more zucchini plant. We better go check it, just to be on the safe side. Those chicken scratch marks? Yikes. Let's go check the other plant. Okay, here's the third plant. And just in case no one believes me that I'm still growing fresh zucchini towards the end of September, there's a little guy growing right there. Well, he's about 8 inches long. And this plant has been giving since June. So plant number 3 didn't have a monster, but he is growing a fresh new one, and we'll pick this one before it gets out of control. Frank just brought me a garden snack. The cherry tomatoes are still giving, a couple of the bigger ones. There's not many left on the vines, but thank goodness. It's not that I'm looking for them, but they're still tasty. Thank you. Okay, we're at the marigold plant now, and nothing could be easier than marigolds. So I'm going to show you. This is a really, really dry one, and it's already saved itself. I don't have to do anything. Those are all marigold seeds, just like that. Where's my bag? I brought one that isn't quite as dry, but you could open it up and dry it in the house, because all the black and white part are the seeds. So those are all seeds. I'm not going to bring that in because I had plenty of dead heads to bring in the house. That doesn't sound good, eh? Dead heads. Here's another really dry one. Just going to take off the darkness there at the top. I've literally just brought in these and kept them in the house till the spring, and that's worked too. Look at that. Whole bunch of marigold seeds. So to me, out of any flower, saving marigolds has to be the absolute easiest thing in the world. And they're so prolific. I mean, I have like hundreds of them. He's still a bit too, always best the drier. He's still a bit too damp for my liking. So I'll probably let a lot of the marigolds, because they grow right up until the frost, I'll let them dry out a wee bit more. But look at that, all marigolds. And I have probably 4 or 5 different colored ones, and I mark them accordingly. There's still lots and lots of flowers that I have to save seeds from. I just took a few today to show you, but I'll be doing that over the course of the next few weeks. More still have to dry out also. They're not all ready. But in the meantime, I've saved a few pepper seeds in the house, but I still need to save more. And also, we still have a lot of peppers on the plants. Some aren't like turned their red color yet if they are supposed to, but our nights are starting to get really, really cool. So today I'm going to pick quite a few peppers. I may leave a few on because our days are still really warm. Like I'm in a tank top, but the nights get quite cool. So I'm going to pick as many peppers as I can. And the ones that I haven't saved seeds from yet, I'm going to do that today as well. So I'm going to go up and down and pick. And what I haven't saved, we'll do that inside too. chickens. They don't like peppers, but I try. They're like little kids. I try and make them eat their vegetables. Like these are paprika peppers, and there's no, not that we don't like spice, so that I'm not worried about. But I thought there'd be like a bit of a more flavor to them. They're ultra sweet. So what do? If I dehydrate them, will they become like more paprika tasting? Because honestly, they are super sweet, which is awesome as far as if you wanted a bell pepper to be sweet, but like the plants are just loaded, and not all of these are going to have time to turn red. So I'm going to pick a bunch, and what we don't use fresh or I freeze, I think I'm just going to pickle a few and can them. And my basket's not going to be big enough. I mean, they did really, really well. It's my first year growing them. I'm really pleased with them. It's just that there's no paprika-ness to them. It's not, I don't know. I know you need a smoker to turn it into like a smoked paprika, but I really thought that they would have like a different flavor than a regular pepper. This guy's just bent over. He's so full of peppers. Frank, I'm going to need a bigger container. Because I don't want to mix them up. Sorry, I'm filming into the sun, so I hope you can see this. But this is an example of seed saving gone wrong. I'll show you my mistakes as well as my successes. Last year I seed saved, obviously, a hybrid instead of an heirloom, because we have two plants like this. Look how small they are. They're the size of my hand, it's way smaller than my hand. And they start off green, like most peppers, and they turn all orange. I didn't grow anything like this in my life. That's small, that's supposed to be small, and that turns green. So obviously, I either had something that cross-pollinated somehow, or I saved by accident a hybrid pepper seed, because these are two plants that weren't supposed to be. But I'll tell you something, they are the sweetest little peppers you could ever have. They're so good. So it turned out to be a happy accident, but that's how, if you don't seed save properly or don't know your seeds properly, your plants, whether they're like hybrids or heirlooms, that's what can happen. We've been enjoying them really, really well. I wanted to show you guys what saving seed or seed saving can do. This is a Cosmo flower. It's a Christmas tree. Look how tall it is. And it's wider than I can put my arms around. This was from one plant from seed that I saved. It's literally got a trunk. It's like a tree. It's unbelievable. And it grew through one little hole in the woven weave fabric. Like if I could save it and decorate it for Christmas, I would. I just can't believe it. And usually when they get this big, I've had them grow big before, but not like this. They get to a point where they get so big that they break and bend over. But this guy didn't. He's just huge. Like, I've never seen anything like it. It's like one of those Scotch pine Christmas trees. I'm 5'3", used to be 5'3 3/4. I don't know what I am anymore. So almost 6 feet. And wide, I have no idea. But it's just amazing to me how big this is. I have never known a Cosmo to get this big, and I surely didn't think I would grow one this big. Anyway, I thought it would be fun to show you. I know I keep showing you this shot, but it never gets old. This sunflower has so many heads on it. And I'm not kidding, it has to be like 15, 16 feet tall. And this one's my favorite. September 23rd, and look what we're still getting. Tomatoes, peppers, two huge zucchinis, and we saved a bunch of seed. And that's pretty darn good. And the chickens are going to be at it in 1 sec, so let's bring it inside. So these are ones I did the other day. I don't want to slide it too much up, but these are, see, I knew it. I just dropped a few. You know what I did one year though? I had a whole tray of pepper and tomato seeds. Like I had it on a really, really big like sheet pan, a cookie sheet. And I had them sectioned off. I had all their names written on what, and I walked by in the kitchen and there was a table fan on and it blew my seeds everywhere. And they were all dry at this point and I lost all my seeds. I mean, I could have put them in the garden and it could have been like, let's just see what grows and it'll be a guessing game, but I had to start all over because every single seed got mixed up. So now I'm paranoid. So before I go any further, this is just what I do. I'm no professional. So I know those ones are dry. They've been for like a week like that. So I'm going to put the month and the year too. So I just take a regular little envelope and these are nice and dry. They were on a paper towel. And I'm just going to stick them in here. I just did a whole thing of seeds with you and the camera wasn't on. So let's do it again. I just did a paprika one and I started the pepperoncini, so we'll just do it again. So again, oh, you didn't see the paprika one. So what I do is when I have peppers that are both green and red, I don't know enough about seed saving to know if I should be taking the seeds from the more ripened state or from the green. So I just cover all my bases and I take the seeds from both ones. Both ones. Is that a word? So I'm going to take the seeds from the green one. Can you see? And I'm going to take the seeds from the red one, and that way I'm covering my bases if one is better than the other. Now this is a pepper that I wasn't too pleased with it. I felt in the green state it wasn't barely had any flavor, but when it turned red it got a lot better. But it was new to me this year. I didn't grow it ever before, and I dedicated 3 spots in the garden to it. I grew 3 plants, So that was kind of foolish on my part because to grow a new pepper, I should have done 3 plants, and it was very, very prolific. So if I grow it again, which I may grow 1 plant, if I grow it again, that's all I'm going to do is 1 plant. Because, like I said, in the red state, they're way tastier. And the thing is, the package that I bought from a reputable company, the color of the pepper on the package is yellow, and they've never been in a yellow state. So I don't know how that happened. So that's it. That's how I save my pepper seeds. I just open them up. I try and get like no fleshy parts on it. I put them on a paper towel because if there's any moisture at all, the paper towel will absorb it. Now I usually leave them on here a good 5 to 7 days. I put them in a spare bedroom where it's like dry, it's a sunny room, it's not damp or cool. And then I load up this tray here with all my seeds, and we'll move on to tomatoes. But I'm going to clean up this a bit so I don't get any seeds where they're not supposed to be. And then we'll do a tomato together. Okay, now we're going to do one of my favorite tomatoes is opalka, and they're a little bit juicier. And I don't mean it in the tomato is juicy, it's just juicier than saving anything else. And opalka is very meaty. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm actually going to put some of the seeds on this paper towel first before it goes on the paper towel to dry. Now I'll just take a few here and there. Try not to get too much of the flesh. So 5 minutes here and there, saving seed, saves money, ensures I have seed to grow next year's crop. And if I have a surplus, I'm able to share with others. Remember when we harvested the potatoes, especially the ones out of that first bucket? And for the first time in my life, I saw potato seeds. Well, I kept some of them, and I thought it would be fun to save the seeds and see what happens next year. Now I know, sorry if you can hear Frank, he's cutting the grass. Now I know, we did some research, that whatever plant when you plant these seeds, you will never get the potato that they come from. You're going to get all kinds of different potatoes, and they look just like a tomato on the inside. I'm going to make sure you guys can see that. Where are you? There. See, looks just like a little cherry tomato, an unripe one. And you'll never ever get what it came from. But I thought we would do like just a little patch, or maybe just in buckets, a little experiment next year to see what we could grow. Where are the seeds? Oh, they're really deep down inside. There they are. Wow, they're teeny tiny, almost like carrot seeds. So I'm going to take a few from different ones, because these shell things, I thought they'd stay hard. They're already softening. So to tell you the truth, I thought the whole thing was the seed. But when Frank did research about them, he told me it was the inside that had the seed. So I'm going to take a bunch of seeds, and then I'll probably do it in buckets next year just to keep them contained and separate from what my own real potatoes will be. I'll take a few from just different ones, and then it'll be really fun to see what, oh, this guy has a lot, to see what we get from it. I gotta put him away. I had to dig them out. I put them at the bottom of the basket. Remember a few weeks ago, I took some bean plants and I told you I was going to hang them up in the barn and whatever. Well, a lot of the pods have already dried. So I just wanted to show you. Like, they're so dry, they just like, see if you can hear it. See, it just cracks open. And the beans inside are dry. So right there, I have a bunch of bean plants. And I need an envelope. So just from like 1, 2, 3, 4 bean plants, 6, 7, 4 times 7, and probably even more in bigger ones, I probably have about 30 bean plants right there. And these were provider. I think seed saving is one of the most amazing things. And these grew from seeds I saved last year. Like, it's so easy to do, maybe a wee bit time consuming. I enjoy it. I don't find it difficult to do. Okay, so for the flower seeds that we picked, they're in these plastic, sorry, they're rattling, the plastic paper bags. See, I can't get my thoughts together today. And most of them were really, really dry. And some of them were borderline. So I'm going to leave them in these paper bags. I leave them like this all winter. I'll put them in a better container than what I picked them in. But what I'm going to do for about a week or so is just leave the bag open to the air, because some of them weren't quite as dry as I'd like them to be. So I'm just going to open up the bags, leave them open to the air, and whatever little seeds maybe weren't completely dry will still dry. And every once in a while, I'll just shake the bag, so if there's any less dry ones on the bottom, it'll move them around. And that's all I do. I still have a lot more to go. I didn't do all the flowers today. I still have 2 different varieties of tomatoes I still want to get, but I have the tomatoes in the house. And peppers, I need 2 more kinds too. And that's about it. I consider seed saving part of the whole gardening process, just like how I start my seeds in the late winter, early spring. I bookend it with saving my seeds at this time of year. To me, it just all goes together. You save so much money, and it's free seeds, and you know what you're getting every time. It's a no-brainer. Anyway, I'm sorry if my thoughts were confusing as I was trying to explain things. I just wanted to show everyone how easy it is in the garden to get your seeds, and how easy it is to just take a piece of your vegetable or fruit and just take your seeds, stick them on a paper towel, put them in a dry place, and you will have seeds for the next year. It's that easy. So thank you so much for spending time with me today. I really appreciate it. And until we're together again, take care.